Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. In today's video it is Sunday, so it is Pits and Peaks Day. So if you are not familiar with this style of video on my channel, I talk about things that didn't go so well for the week being my pits for the week, and things that went better this week being my peaks for the week. I didn't do this video last week just because I didn't really feel like I had anything to talk about last week. It was just sort of same old, and I feel like I was repeating myself week on week with the things that I was talking about, so I just didn't do a video last week. One of the pits that I'm going to talk about this week sort of ties in with last week, so I guess that sort of covers what I would have talked about in my video anyway. I have not had a great week. Most of these are sort of coinciding with my training and things like that, and I actually don't have any peaks on my notes this week for things to talk about. It's literally all pits, so I'm going to try and not be too much of a Debbie Downer in this video, but I'm just trying to keep it real with how things are going at the moment. So we will get on to my pits for this week. So my first pit is that I haven't done all of my runs this week. This sort of coincides with last week's what I would have mentioned, and I feel like I've dropped the ball a bit with my training. I only did 2 runs last week. I did have the intention of doing a long run on the Sunday, but I was feeling really tired, so I put that off until the Monday. So I did do 6 miles on Monday. So I was going to just do the long run the day after and then sort of resume my training as normal and hope to get in the rest of the runs this week, but that just hasn't happened. So I did 2 runs last week, I've done 3 runs this week. I did attempt to do my long run today. I'll talk about that in my next pit, but yeah, I basically just feel like I've dropped the ball a bit and I need to quickly get back on it basically, because I'm getting to the point where I'm almost going to be starting my 16-week marathon training plan, and I feel like this is not the time to be dropping the ball. I feel like this is the time where I should have secured the consistency with my training and things like that, and I feel I've taken a step backwards, so it's annoyed me a bit, and I'm going to have to sort of get the ball rolling with that again. I'm going to try really hard to do that next week, but yeah, the training the last 2 weeks has not gone well at all. On to my next pit, I guess, is that I attempted my long run today. I had 7 miles on the agenda for today, and that did not go to plan at all. I was going to do an out and back loop, so I was basically going to run 3.5 miles out and then come that same route back to make up the 7 miles. And I was on the way back, I was at about 4.5 miles, and then my stomach just completely turned. I needed to toilet, not to sort of go too TMI with this, but I had been to the toilet before I went out. I'm usually pretty good with going to the toilet before I go out for a run, so that I don't have to sort of worry about it during the actual training run itself, but for some reason it just didn't happen that way this time. I stopped at a bus stop to try and see whether it would subside and I'd be able to sort of pick up the running again, but it just didn't. It was just persistent that I needed the toilet at that point, so I had to walk the 1.5 miles back. Every single time I tried to feel like I was at the point where I might be able to run, as soon as I started running I felt like I needed the toilet again. So without sounding too, I don't know what the word is, crude I guess, I was worried about shitting my pants on the way back basically, so I just walked the rest of the way home. So it was about 1.5 miles home, so I did about 6 miles because I cut the route short on the way back just to make sure that I did actually get back and I didn't shit my pants. So yeah, that was eventful to say the least, and yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I'm trying not to beat myself up too much about not being able to do my long run. I did think about whether I was going to go back out after I'd been to the toilet, but I'd cooled down by that point. I'd already done 6 miles in my legs with the running and the walking, and obviously with it being quite warm out and things like that, I had basically cooled off and my clothes were a bit soggy and wet. So I didn't fancy putting them back on to go out for a run again, so I just sacked it off, and it is what it is. I'm just going to have to move on next week and hope for a better week. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing for this week. My Next bit is that it is confirmed that work have decided that we're going to be going back to work 3 times a week, which is annoying. I was hoping that it'd be just 2 days a week, but we are going to 3. So that is going to play havoc with my routine because I am going to have to get up really early in the morning in order to get my training runs in. I have learnt, especially from the last 2 weeks, but just in general, that I don't run well in the afternoon. And especially after I have got back from a training run. Sorry, the light is going to really affect the run. It's coming in the video. Sorry about that, hopefully that's a bit better. Yeah, so I don't run very well in the evenings, and I'm really tired when I've got back from commuting. I think driving really takes it out on you, so yeah, I'm going to have to get them done really early in the morning, which means getting up like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, because I need to leave around 6:30 for work. So yeah, that's not going to be great, that's going to suck. So I'm just going to have to get used to that and try and fit things in around my new sort of working schedule. But yeah, it sucks a bit. I was hoping that they would just keep it to 2 days a week, but they're not, they're going to 3. My next pit for this week, which is what's been sort of playing havoc with my training and things, is that I have been really tired. I don't know what's causing it. I don't know whether it's the volume of training, the amount of mileage I'm doing or whatever else, but I am really tired at the moment, and it's taking it out on my training. I have been waking up in the morning, most mornings, feeling like I've got really heavy eyes, and I'm just generally really tired. It's like I've hardly got any sleep. I am getting a decent amount of sleep every night, like 6-7 hours of sleep. Probably not enough, but yeah, it's the average that I would usually have for sleep. And I've just been feeling really tired. Like I said, I don't know whether it's because of the volume of training that I'm doing, the amount of mileage that I'm doing, and whether it's just my sort of body's way of adjusting to the amount of training and mileage that I'm doing. But it's super annoying because I haven't been motivated or feeling right to do the runs in the morning, and then by the time I get to the evening I'm that tired from already feeling tired in the morning that I just don't have the motivation to go out and run in the evening. So I'm putting the runs off, and then sort of it repeats the process the next time. I don't know whether this is something that is is normal for training for a marathon and you feel tired, and whether your body will adjust as you sort of get into training. But at the moment it sucks. I think I'm just gonna have to push through it and just get out there regardless of whether I feel tired or not. Yeah, I don't know whether my body is going to adjust to the volume of training and things like that over time, but I think I'm just going to have to suck it up and get on with it anyway, because otherwise I'm going to let it affect my training throughout the whole thing, and that's not ideal. I don't want to be going through my marathon training plan having skipped a few runs during the week. That's not what I intend at all. So I'm just going to have to get up regardless of whether I feel tired, and hope that as I start running it sort of wears off. But that has been really annoying. It could be the volume of training, it could be that I'm a bit iron deficient or something like that. I'm going to start taking like daily vitamins along with my COLITIS that I usually take every day, and hope that that makes a difference. But yeah, that's what I've been dealing with at the moment. So my next pit for this week is that I have been struggling with my eating. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this on a video in the past, that I was going to be taking on a more sort of mindful eating approach rather than tracking my calories. I felt like I got to a point with tracking calories where I felt like it was having a bit of a negative effect, where if I was even a little bit over my calories, I had sort of in my brain convinced myself that I'd had a bad day and that I could just eat whatever I wanted, when in reality that's not the case at all. It should be that I've had a bad day and that's it, just move on, go on to the next day. I do feel like I'm in a better frame of mind not tracking calories. I don't feel like there's that chore of tracking calories and things like that. I do feel like I've been making better choices with my food as well. I'm not having as much processed food. I am cooking more meals from fresh. We are getting Hello Fresh meals a few days a week, so that has encouraged us to sort of eat fresh meals, I guess. And even sort of outside the Hello Fresh meals, we are trying to sort of cook a bit more fresh and a bit healthier, so that has been going really well. But I've been finding during training, especially over the last couple of weeks as the mileage has ramped up, that I am very, very hungry, and I'm having a lot more snacks than usual. I guess this sort of ties in with my next pit, I guess, is that I sort of need to be mindful of fueling my body at the same time. So whilst I am on a weight loss journey, I don't want to be restricting myself that much that I am adversely affecting my training. Obviously, in order to lose weight, you've got to be in a calorie deficit, so it's all about calories in versus calories out. But you do need to fuel your body right for training, and I know how important it's going to be to fuel my body for marathon training. So whilst I do obviously still have my main goal of weight loss, I am going to sort of have to, I don't know, put it on the back burner a bit, and not be as restrictive with my calories. It might be that I bump up my calories a bit more and let my training and things be the sort of deficit, rather than me eating in a deficit and then creating an even bigger deficit with my training. So it might be that I go up to maintenance and then let my training and things create that deficit. Obviously, like I've said, I'm not tracking my calories at the moment, but I have a good sense of the amount of calories that I'm eating based on how I've been tracking for the last God knows how many years. So I do have a rough idea of how many calories I'm taking in every day. But yeah, the hunger is very real. I have had this problem in the past when I started doing long runs, especially when I was half marathon training as well. The hunger is very real. Like, I'm hungry a lot of the time. So I am going to still have to be mindful of not taking it on too many calories to the point where I'm above maintenance. But I do feel like I need to fuel my body enough to sustain the training that I'm doing. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that at the moment. It might be that I just bump up my calories a bit more than I would if I was in my regular deficit. Previously, when I was actually tracking my calories, I was on about 1600, so it might be that I go to like 1800, something like that. Or, like I said, it might be that I go to maintenance and let my training create the deficit during the week. I'm not sure how that's going to work out at the moment, but I am very mindful of the fact that I need to not restrict myself too much to the point where it affects my training. So I'm going to have to work that out. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I will update you when I've figured that out. But yeah, that's my only thing, is that I am very hungry at the moment. But that is it, I think, for my pits for this week. Like I said, I don't have any peaks for this week, so I'm going to end the video here. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can always click the notification bell down below and you'll be notified of when my videos go live. Other than that, I hope you're all staying safe and well. I hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend, whenever it is that you're watching this, and I will see you again in my next video. Bye.